All right, looks like we are live. Welcome back to my chaotic life, um, featuring my extremely washed out breakfast, which is a plain bagel that I put in the toaster to feel like I did something with my morning. Hey, it has been a while. It's been a minute, about a month actually. And I have been kind of missing in action for a little while because my wife and I just had a baby. You may have seen my wife in a previous video where she was going off I believe she was going off to an appointment or something. And I was staying home and working and streaming and man, I have such a cool job. But she was super pregnant at the time, and now she's no longer pregnant, and instead we have a baby. So we've decided to keep her social media presence pretty off the grid, and so she more than likely will not be coming on the stream at any point, just for internet safety and for her safety, just because I'm very public about who I am and where I work. And so we are going to keep her off the radar a little bit, which honestly, I would love for myself. I would love to just move to a cabin near a lake in the woods just outside of a town. Still with some electricity, but kind of just be like off the grid and just like wake up in the morning, have my coffee, and stare out at the sunrise over the lake. And you know what? I hope to make that dream a reality someday. That would be awesome. But we live in the Bay Area, where that's probably not going to happen. And so until then, this is where I'm at in my journey. I am a dad now, I guess. And that's pretty cool. Still really surreal to think. I'm going to be 26 here pretty soon. I'm 25 now. My wife and I celebrated our second anniversary just like 2 weeks before, less than 2 weeks before, 10 days, 11 days, something like that, before we welcomed our daughter into the world. And it was really strange. I've never had so many hospital visits in such a short amount of time, because obviously my wife went in for a C-section, and I was telling a coworker yesterday, it kind of felt like grocery shopping. Like you walk in, and then you get your stuff, and then you walk out, and you didn't have groceries before, and now you do have groceries. That's kind of what my wife having a C-section felt like, because there's no labor and barely any delivery. They prepped her for surgery, and I walked in, and then 15 minutes later there was a baby. And so then I got to be with her while they finished the surgery for Sandy, and made sure that she was all patched up, and she's healing well. We did have some scares where she had to go back into the hospital where the baby wasn't eating. And there's apparently like a million things that can go wrong with a baby in the first month. And so I'm really glad that I took that time off to just be available. And so it was about 3 weeks of chaos, and then 1 week of actually like, okay, I think we're starting to have this figured out. If you hear a cry, I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but that was our daughter. She said and so we'll see how she's doing. She's upstairs with mom right now. My wife, her mom. And so today though, I'm really excited to kind of just like talk about my journey, catch up a little bit, and play this new game that I'm going to switch over to right now. This is Fae Farm. Fae Farm came out this year, apparently, which I learned thanks to YouTube. And we actually saw this. I was going through Target. I've been to Target a lot. in the last month, picking up like diapers and formula and stuff like that. And every time I like to take a little more time than needed and just take a breather, and kind of just refocus myself and come back home to be with my wife and the baby. Just the best self that I can be. And so I'll do like a whole lap around Target anyway. And I was walking through the game section, and my wife really likes cozy games. I got her hooked into gaming with Animal Crossing. She's played Unpacking, and a handful of other games. And I saw this on the shelf with all the cards, and sent her a picture and said, "Hey, this looks like fun. Maybe you'd have fun with this. And hey, it's multiplayer, and so I'll play with you." And so we went back and forth about it. We did some research, and we like to look into the games before we actually buy them, and then decided, yeah, we'll get it. And we've been having a lot of fun playing this, and so I've actually been playing it by myself a little bit too, just when she's been occupied and there's nothing for me to do, and I'm just decompressing a little bit. This is a nice little fun medieval game, and farming actually has very little to do with it. I was kind of worried that it would be like a Farmville sort of thing, but it's actually really fun. So here we are in Fae Farm. This is my little character. I really like how you can spin in the air and jump. Essentially, the premise of this game is that we got shipwrecked. Well, actually, we were invited to this island, and you can see the plank of wood floating there. We were invited here, given a free house, and then we got shipwrecked, so now we're stuck here. And so there's a bunch of dangerous like magic and thorns and stuff around, whirlpools that keep people here. And so we're kind of the problem solvers of this game. And we have we have some quests going on that we'll take a look at as we talk. But this is Fae Farm. I find it really relaxing. I find the music really peaceful. Here we can pick up some mussels here that we can cook. I really like how low pressure this is. You can go in, you can swim in the ocean. Oh look, my watering can is filling up just by swimming. That's nice. You can do fishing. It's great. This is awesome. I'm really enjoying it, and it's definitely that medieval vibe that I enjoy. No idea who that person is, just chilling there, but I'm gonna pick up these mussels. I'm gonna leave these shells for later. But no idea what this is yet. But we'll find out. Ooh, hey, there's some berries there, some huckleberries. But I love how green this is, just like all the nature. It's so beautiful, and I really appreciate it. It's definitely been a mood booster over the last month, where we've spent most of our time at home, or at the doctor's office for my wife or our baby or otherwise. Here, let me switch over to my net here, and I'll catch a bee. Hey, got a worker bee and a ladybug. Oh, hey, more berries up here. Switch back, yeah, to my harvesting tool, and go back to my net and get this butterfly. Woo! So please feel free to just enjoy this game while I talk. I'm gonna cook some stuff up here. It's really nice to find some peace in this season of life. We're finally kind of adjusting to really what it looks like to be parents, and it's definitely easier said than done. It's been a minute, so I forgot what I was supposed to be crafting. Yeah, it's really just been go over the last month, and so being able to go back to work and to just be in a different environment. Oh, here's some of that magic I was talking about. Be in a different environment, and here, I need to feed the chicken. Just have some more structure and routine in my life. Oh, I already fed you. Oh, that's good. My wife named the chicken Hennessy. I love her so much. All right. I'm actually just gonna go to sleep. Or actually, I think I have a quest where I need to like do an emote near. Oh nope, that's the wrong button. Is it this one? Nope, but there's the worker bee. Is it? Ah, there we go. Leave. Yay! There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep because it's the middle of the day and time passes super quickly in this game. Having structure and routine in my life has been awesome. This is my first week back at work, starting on Sunday because I work at a church, and now going through to today. Oh man, it's raining. That is unfortunate. Let me grab my food that I left out here. And then we're going to run over here to this teleporter that we unlocked. And we're going to go down to the saltwater mines. Yeah, our life has really just been baby and hospital and doctor's appointments. Just like 24/7. And it's been so disorienting. This week really went by so this month went by almost like it was a week, is what I was trying to say. And it all happens so fast because your sleep schedule is all over the place. Your eating schedule is all over the place. I can't tell if I've lost weight or gained weight. Probably a little bit of both. And well, probably more so gained weight. I definitely have a dad bod now, which I already kind of did before. So I'm not like surprised. Like it's not like a shocker or anything. But it is like, oh, okay, maybe I should focus on my health a little more. But it's been good because I get to take a walk on my lunch break at work, and that's been good. I'll make sure that my mic, okay, yeah. I couldn't see my mic level for a second there. So I was worried that I was just like muted or something that entire time. That would be embarrassing. I am going to turn the volume down for myself though a little bit, because that got much louder when I got into the cave. Oh, let's switch over to my staff here. Okay. And there's just so much to worry about with babies. It's like, are they eating enough? Are they sleeping enough? They need to be changed constantly. Everything can kind of be like super chill with a baby, and all of her needs will be met. And then all of a sudden it's just like, nope, we're angry now, and we need to go through the whole order of changing and feeding and burping all over again to figure out what is going on. And it can be pretty stressful at times, and it can be really frustrating. And definitely, like I've heard a lot of advice, like being married for relatively short amount of time compared to other marriages. We've heard that the first year of marriage is the most difficult, and that there's just a lot of things that you encounter in that year that really stretch you as a person and require a lot of like personal growth and things like that. I've also heard now the same thing about this first year of parenting. And apparently that's actually when most divorces happen, is in the first couple years of marriage and the first couple years of parenting. I am not wanting to divorce my wife, but I can also see why people do, because there's so much more added stress, so many variables to life now, that it's really overwhelming at times. And I hit a point in myself and this journey that we're on, that I realized, like, oh, this is the point where dads leave. Like, I can see where it happens, because I'm in it, and I'm not going to leave. I'm committed to my wife, and I made a promise to her that we were going to be married, and we want to raise this child. We didn't go into this haphazardly, but the stress is real. The challenges are real, and I think it's really important for us to acknowledge that, especially as someone who is working in ministry and is, if at all possible, going to encourage people to not get divorced. Of course, there's situations where, for people's safety and things like that, it's potentially better for someone to separate from their spouse. But I think it's really important, as someone in ministry, which deals with a lot of like sociological things and marriage and kids and family and divorce and things like that, that we acknowledge the difficulty of what's happening, that we acknowledge the challenge of what's happening. Because if we make it out to be like, oh yeah, life is perfect and everything is great and my child is this wonderful beacon of light, and my wife and I are so in sync all the time and nothing could ever bring us down, then you take a look at someone who is struggling in this time and saying, wow, they have it so easy. I guess I must be really terrible at this. And I've even felt that myself in this time of like, oh wow, like I have these intrusive thoughts of, man, she's crying while I'm holding her and I don't know how to calm her down. Am I just a terrible dad? Is that what's happening here? Because it seems to be going fine for my wife, but you know what? I seem to be having some difficulty. Am I a bad parent? And I just, in processing with myself and talking with my wife about it, it's like, okay, no, I can't jump to that conclusion. I'm doing my best. I'm present. I'm here, and that's important. And this is just a very difficult season, and there's a very dramatic learning curve to what's happening here, to raising a child. And so it's still very surreal, the fact that I'm like, yep, I'm a dad now. That's what I'm doing with my life. And you know what? Poopy diapers, bottle feeding, a lot of pregnancy related talk, stuff like that. It's really a big change, and life kind of got turned on its head in this season. At least my life did. And you know whose life didn't get turned on its head is our baby's, because she was breached. She was upset, or she was right side up when she's supposed to be upside down. That was really terrible joke. And man, I am off my game as a dad. I'm gonna eat some cooked egg. Aquamarine. Hey, we got some aquamarine. Nice. That's new. But I think it's so important to acknowledge, especially as someone who's like, hey, I'm a pastor. I pastor people through difficult seasons in life. And here I am in a difficult season in life myself. Like, I think it's so important to be able to say, like, yeah, I'm having trouble. This is difficult. This is challenging. And I can empathize with the people who will be in this season as well. Because I'm in this season and it's hard. Oh, nice, we got it. And it's, in some ways, we have some neighbors with a 6-month-old, and they were like, oh, it gets much easier at 3 months, and then it gets much easier at 6 months. And so we're like, okay, that's good. We're also expecting that there will be different challenges at 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, whatever age that our daughter is at. Whatever season it is will have its own challenges. And so we're not blind to the fact that, like, we're not, how do I say this? Like, we're not like holding out for things to suddenly miraculously get easy. Because I don't think that is an actual feasible way to approach parenthood. I think there will just be different challenges in different seasons of life. And it's important to acknowledge that no matter what season of life you're in, you're going to have challenges. And I'm just looking forward to having different challenges right now, I think. I feel like I'm the type of person that thinks very logically about things. But babies are all about instinct. It's, man, I'm hungry. And babies apparently, my wife did some research. She said that babies experience hunger as pain. And I think it has something to do with the fact that they're really only drinking milk for at least the first 6 months. And so their tummy empties really quickly. And so they literally have an empty stomach, and so we have to start looking for signs that she's hungry before she is actually expressing to us that she's hungry, like having clenched fists and crying are obvious signs, but before that, oh, I'm out of energy. But before that, it's looking for, like, oh, is she sticking her tongue out? Is she trying to, like, suck on her hands and stuff like that? And really, like, reading into our baby's body language. It's so strange, and I'm learning so much, and I'm definitely being stretched as a person, because this baby is just, like, acting on instinct, like it's the end of the world for her, because that's what her life is she can't take care of herself. Like, if she's hungry, her stomach is empty. If she has no control over her bathroom movements, and so, like, that's something that it's like, yeah, of course I would be uncomfortable too if I was in her situation. And I wasn't able to just pop on over to the bathroom and sit down and do my business. I was even talking to a coworker yesterday that, like, people pretty much have the same needs their entire life, but as we get older, we get better at addressing those needs. And so, of course, a baby is not going to be good at addressing their needs. They can't do anything. She can't, like, she's learning this month that her legs are a part of her body, and so she's kicking them a lot, and is now becoming self-aware. Like, oh, I have a body, I have legs, I have arms, and to think about how difficult that must be, just experiencing all of that for the first time. It's really given me a better perspective of just like, wow, I need to have so much more grace and empathy than I could possibly ever give before I became a dad, because I can't use logic and reason like I can with my wife when we're having a discussion or a disagreement. This baby is just helpless and needs me. Ow. And I really just, there is no option. It's, I need to care for her. I need to provide for her, because there's no possible way that she can do that herself. I've been somewhat public about the fact that I have a condition called fibromyalgia. It's really rare in young people. It's also really rare in men. And so I really hit the jackpot with this one. But it's like, okay, like, if I'm not doing well physically because of my condition, I know that my wife will be able to take care of herself. Like, she can drive, she can cook, she can fend for herself if need be. But if my wife is asleep, or if she's pumping milk or something like that, or is otherwise occupied, and I'm with our baby, I can't just be like, sorry, baby, I'm in pain. I can't help you right now. Please hold for the next available representative. She's like, I need help, and I need it right now, because I'm a helpless little child, and I can't do anything myself. And that level of dependency on me is kind of scary. It's like, oh wow, like, I don't know how I am supposed to care for a child 24/7, and sometimes she doesn't even know what she needs. Sometimes she's just upset because she's tired, and it's like, okay, well, if it's me, or if it's my wife or any other person who is not a child, it's like, just go to sleep. Like, easy, simple solution. If you're hungry, you have to make food. If you are feeling constipated, then go to the bathroom. Like, there's actions that you have to take. If you're sleeping, it's like, okay, just stop doing things and lay down and just go to sleep. And even at that point, she gets so caught up in her emotions about it, and her instinct of just like, oh man, I'm so tired that I'm feeling just uncomfortable, and this is a very dramatic experience for me. Oh, it's bedtime. All right, well, fine. It's the logic doesn't work there. It's, I have these needs that need to be met, and I don't know how to meet them. And so even if it's a simple solution for us, for her, it's like, 0 to 100. And it's my job to get her back down from 100, so that she can be comfortable and go to sleep. And that level of dependency is just, it's unheard of, I feel like, for anyone who's not a parent. At least it was for me before becoming a parent. It was unheard of. Let's see. All right. 4 of these. And so going through this experience of becoming a dad, number one, I feel like I have a lot more respect for my own parents. And I mean, I'm one of 3 brothers. I have an oldest half brother and then an older brother who is from both my mom and my dad. And so my parents had experience raising kids when they had me. But that doesn't necessarily make it easy. And I feel like it's very easy to actually look from the outside in, to look at my parents, to look at my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, who just had a baby a year ago, and think, wow, like, they're just so great at this. And to look at my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, and say, like, man, their families, they get it. Like, my brother's family and my sister-in-law's family, like, they're just good at being parents. But what we don't see is all of the stuff in between that now I'm seeing firsthand, which is the constant diaper changes. I just changed her and it's full again. I'm actively changing her and she's going again. And now I need to wipe down everything because everything is just a mess. And you don't see that from the outside. Looking into... Oh. Okay. I don't know if you heard that, but my Amazon device just went off and let me know that there was no weather alerts. That's very helpful. Thank you. I don't know what I said, but... It's really easy from the outside looking in to just see the good, to just see the easy, but to not see the struggle, everything that went into getting to that point where you feel like you have any sort of idea what's going on. And I'm sure I'm going to reach a point where I feel like I want to have more kids. Right now, I'm like, man, 1 is kind of crazy. I don't know if I was ready to have 1. Of course I was on board. I was excited. Now being here, that question mark pops into your head and it's like, was I really ready? Or did I just think that I was ready? I don't know. Maybe I was ready, like emotionally and mentally, but not ready practically. That's the one thing I told people. Like, oh man, are you ready to have kids? And I'm like, you know what? Because my wife was pregnant and they're like, oh, counting down. And I'm like, you know what? I'm prepared in knowing that I'm not going to be prepared. And I feel like that's really made this much easier for me to be able to say, you know what? Stuff is going to come up and I'm not going to know what to do. And that's going to be challenging. That's going to be hard. But I'm prepared to not know what to do, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But I think just because I'm in the middle of it, I'm like, you know what? One child is a lot of work. Two, oof, I don't know. And I've always been very vocal with my wife about like, yeah, I want 2 kids, and she wants 3 kids. She would be fine with 2. I would be fine with 3. That's what we've always talked about. But being here, it's like, oh man, do I want 2? Do I want 3? Whew! That's a lot of children, and there's people who have many more kids than that. My half brother has 6 kids, and I'm like, man, are you good, man? Like, are you okay? Like, that's a lot of kids, and I don't think we have anyone else in our life who has an exorbitant amount of children. But of course, you hear about people on social media and TV and whatnot. Yeah, get out of here. And it's like, what possessed you to have like 17 kids? That's no joke. There's I think when I was very young, my mom told me about this family in a magazine, and we knew about it, or it was pertinent because I guess there was a set of twins that were born on the same day as me, and they were 2 of 17 kids, and it's like, oh wow, that is, whew, God bless them, and whatever it is that they were going through, raising 17 children. Wow, I can't even imagine. Having 1 is difficult. Doubling this to 2? Man, I don't know. But I'll keep you updated as we go. This is why I'm talking about this. Even in my mind as I'm talking about it, I'm like, I have to make sure that I check myself, because I'm doing this as a part of my work for the church, to be able to minister online. And I have these doubts running in the back of my mind right now. That's just like, is this like Jesus-y enough? And I think that's such like an intrusive thought to have. And I need to remind myself that, you know what, it's not about being super spiritual all the time. It's not about being super theological all the time. This is about acknowledging the fact that there are seasons in life, and seasons are difficult. And the Bible says that there are seasons. There's a time for mourning, and there's a time for laughter. There's all these different seasons of life. If my brain was working properly, then I would be able to read the whole passage for you. But there's time to plant seeds, time to harvest, whatever, right? You get the idea. There's seasons of life, and this is one of them. And a lot of what I wanted to do by specifically taking this approach to getting online and talking about my story was that I know that I am experiencing such a dramatically new season of life right now. And someone else at some point is going to be experiencing that same season of life. And I really want to bring validation to the people who are in this season of early parenthood, that it is hard and it is difficult. And as I grow as a person, and as a pastor, and as a husband, and as a father, I want to be able to reach these milestones and be able to reference people back and say, yeah, no, I actually made a video about that when I was in that season. And I'm sure that when we have our next kid or kids. There will be more challenges of having multiple kids, and it's I feel like so valuable to be able to share my experiences now, so that parents who or parents or future parents can understand what it's like, because I don't think I'm going to remember exactly what it's like looking back. I don't know if I'll remember how hard it was or the specific challenges of the first month, but I think this is something that is not talked about enough. I think we need to acknowledge the fact that life is hard and not everything comes easy. Because I can look at even the lives of people that I work with or have worked with and say, wow, their family is just so perfect. And then I kind of like look deeper and think about it, and it's like, well, there's got to be something, right? Like, do they not have any difficulties? Is life just easy for them? And it can make you really unrelatable if life just comes easy to you. And I just think it's important to note that life is not going to be easy. I don't think ever. And there's times where things are happy and fun and light, and I think the goal is to just find those pockets, even in the darkest of seasons, in the most challenging of seasons. And so that's my rant. Okay. That was honestly as much for myself as it was for anyone else. Just affirming the fact that, you know what, I'm doing this for a good reason. I need to affirm myself that I'm not just getting paid to play video games, you know? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm talking, not because I just like talking out of my butt for an hour once a week, but because I feel like it's important to be genuine and to just say, hey, here's my life. I'm just a pastor who plays video games and makes bad jokes. And you know what? That's my life. That's me. I'm content with that. I enjoy my life. And I'm so happy to be a dad. And, you know, I think it's valuable. I think it's valuable ministry to be able to say, you know what, I understand what you're going through. I think that's the best thing that we can do for people sometimes, is just empathize with them and say, you know what, I get it. I know what you're going through. I've been through it too. And I really hope that this series that I'm gonna be posting a playlist about, just with more kind of life updates sort of stuff. That's the goal, is to have a series of life updates and stuff like that. But of course that'll have to be curated at some points, because we're just stepping into this season. But that's the goal of this, is to be able to say, you know what, I've been through what you're going through. I get it. You don't have to feel like you're going through this alone, or that your struggle is unusually more difficult than everyone else's, or even affirming the fact, like, yeah, I know that this is the point where dads run. This is the point where it starts to sink in, like, oh, this is a permanent decision, and this is going to affect the rest of my life. I think it's so important to affirm that, not to encourage that and affirm any decision to run or to leave, but to say, you know what, I experienced that panic. That hit me at one point, and you know what, I get it. That's not an appropriate response to what's going on, but that stress is still real. The feelings that you're having about it are still real, and I get it, and you can get past that. I know, because I got past that. I am well, talking as my future self got past that. I'm still in it, and I can affirm that it's normal, and things are getting better. I'm starting to settle into a routine, and I think being back at work has really helped with that. That feeling of like, okay, my life has some order and some routine to it. I think I can do this. And that's the point that I'm at right now. And I have to remind myself to give myself grace. I think that's something that I don't do easily all the time. But I'm all for, like, down with the patriarchy, and like we don't need gender roles in the home. Like, my wife doesn't need to be the cooking and cleaning, and I don't need to be the breadwinner. In fact, in this time, while she's been taking care of the baby, now I've been doing most of the cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. And I really feel for moms who have husbands who are like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not someone who cooks or cleans. I bring home the money. I bring home the bacon. Like, man, if I had to do what my wife is doing and what I'm doing, like, I already hate washing the dishes. Like, I am not a good dishwasher. But well, I know how to use the dishwasher, and so I guess that's the bare minimum. But I really hate the smell. The smell always gets me. But I do it because I love my wife. And I don't want it to smell worse, obviously. And it's kind of helpful to be able to eat off of plates and things like that, you know. Anyway, like, I'm all for like, not buying into the idea of, like, this is the man's role and this is the woman's role. My wife makes more money than I do, and I'm totally cool with that, because, you know what, she's very supportive of the fact that I work in ministry, and that I feel like I get to make a difference with where I work. And my wife also makes a difference with where she works, and it just happens to not be in, like, the quote-unquote, like, church industry, like the religious industry. And so, anyway, my point is to say that I don't buy into, like, men's roles and women's roles and things like that. However, I have experienced firsthand in this season the fact that, like, wow, my wife has a really legitimate connection to our baby that I don't have yet. And I feel like I'm starting to get there. But my wife was literally physically connected to our baby for 10 months. And so when the baby is born, she doesn't realize that she and my wife are separate people yet. It's, in her mind, it's all just one big happy person. And when she's disconnected from my wife, when she's, like, not being held, then it's like, wait, hold on, I'm missing a piece of myself. And now that we're about a month in, she's, like, learning her autonomy and stuff like that. But especially in this first month, it's like, I'm sorry, like, I'm holding her, she's crying, I don't get it, and I hand her off to my wife, and she's just content. And that's such a just frustrating feeling to feel like, man, I don't have this connection. She doesn't want me. She wants you. I don't get it. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like I said, am I a bad parent? And so there is something to be said about the connection between mom and child, I will say. But also in saying that, down with the patriarchy. I can't get that muscle. But this season is just so full of new challenges. And I really hope that this stream, which is going to be wrapping up in a little bit here, I really hope that it has been beneficial to someone who's kind of in this new parenthood season and is struggling. I hope you know that you're not alone. That, as far as I can tell, this is normal. This is what is supposed to happen. It's supposed to be difficult. At least it is for me. And I get it. And I hope that you continue along in this journey with me of parenthood. Oh, hey, good timing. And we can kind of go through this together and figure out, like, hey, you know, I get it. Having a kid is hard. And you know what? I think everything's gonna be okay. Anyway, that's me. That's my rant. That is, oh, nice, I finished my berries. Okay, I'm just gonna stop there and let myself go home. That's my rant about being a dad. I think that this is probably a good stopping place for this stream. I think we're coming up on an hour. I'm content. I hope that this was helpful. I don't know if it was or not, but I feel like I would have benefited from someone telling me this and really just affirming the fact that it's not easy. Like, everyone said, well, say goodbye to your sleep. And it's like, okay, yeah, like, that's expected. Like, babies need to eat every 3 hours, at least. And so we have to wake up and feed her. But I don't know. There's a lot of challenges in life. This is just the one for this season. And it's just been really great. We've been really blessed by friends and family and people from our church who have brought us food. Our friends who organized our meal train for us. Friends who have come over just to hang out and meet the baby, say hi, have grown-up conversations that aren't revolving around the baby. We had friends come over and play Honey Heist, which is a tabletop role-playing game. And next week I get to run a one-shot that I'm putting together for like a D&D version of Candyland for a friend's birthday. And I'm really excited, and I'm really blessed by the people in my life and in our family's lives right now. And so I hope that this provides comfort. I also hope that if you're watching this, that you have people in your life that can come alongside you and support you in this season. So, man, I hope you had a happy Halloween. I hope that the coming holiday seasons will be okay for you. I will keep you updated on everything that's going on. What's it like having Thanksgiving with a baby, or Christmas with a baby, or New Year's with a baby? I don't know. That'll be the new series. Blank with a baby. No, I don't know. That's a bad idea. Also, not a great title, but I don't know. I'm tired, and I am going to go check in with my wife, make sure that she's okay and that our baby's okay. And I'm going to take a little break from work for a little while, and I'm going to spend some time with them. And then I'll get back to it. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.